Plan on going back to college soon. Always thought I was stupid in my topics of interest, which is math, physics, philosophy, biology, etc. But I want to learn this. Any advice on overcoming negative beliefs?
I would definitely read my second book, Mastering Yourself. You can read it for free at understandingrelationships.com. Give you a lot of good information in there to help you with that. So the way you got to think about it, because a lot of times, especially if you're going back to school, you're not going to want to study. You're not going to want to do the homework. And so you have to have an emotionally compelling reason why you're doing it. And that's what I realized that how I was sabotaging my success back when I was in college, was that I associated more pleasure with blowing off homework because I didn't want to find out if I was really stupid, like my mom used to say I was when I wasn't doing what she wanted. And so it was better not to know. Ignorance was bliss. And so I just kept putting off my school and my studies and my homework, and then I would have to drop the class. And as the years rolled by, and especially after I went through Tony Robbins' Personal Power, 30 days, what was it? 30 Days of Personal Power. It was back in like 92, I think it was, when I went through that. When I was 22, 23. I realized that, again, this goes back to Socrates. People do more to avoid pain than they'll do to gain pleasure. And so I realized I was willing to do more to avoid the pain of studying and finding out I was stupid than I was willing to sit down and do the homework and all the pleasure that would come as a result. And I learned to think differently. So when I felt like blowing off class, I thought, okay, what pain am I going to experience if I blow this class off or this assignment? I won't be able to get my degree, I won't ever graduate, or I won't graduate on time. I won't be able to get my general contractor's license. I won't be able to start my business. All my dreams will basically go up in smoke. And that was very painful to think about it in terms of that. So even though I hated calculus and physics and engineering economic analysis or engineering economy, I fucking hated those classes. They were hard. There was a lot of math. When I didn't feel like doing the homework, I thought about all the pain I was going to experience if I chose to be lazy. Because it's easy to be lazy. It's easy to blow it off. And so it's like everything I do now, it's part of the way I think. Like whether it's filming videos or getting up or going for a run on the treadmill or going to the gym or eating healthy, or when I'm out of juice, getting my ass out of bed and going to Whole Foods to buy the ingredients to make it, even though the last thing I want to do is make another fucking gallon of that juice when I've made probably 10,000 of them over the last 25 years that I've been doing it. And that's what motivates me. I think about, how am I going to feel after I juice? How am I going to feel after I run 2 miles? How am I going to feel after I get all these extra videos done, even though the last thing I want to do is film another video? So, there's just things you have to do in life in order to get from where you are to where you want to be that suck and you don't want to do it. And so you got to think in terms of the pluses and the minuses, the pleasure that you gain by doing it, and the pain that you avoid by doing the things you know you're supposed to do. So it's like when you understand that we do everything we can to avoid pain, and we're usually willing to do very little to gain pleasure, you got to think in terms of consequences, the benefits and the negative consequences if you don't do what you know you need to do today. Because that's what's going to get you over the hump, because you're going to be challenged. You're going to have days you don't feel like going to class, you don't feel like doing your homework, you're going to feel like, I'll just drop this class and retake it next semester. And meanwhile, the years roll by.
Also, with college, like, if you're planning on going to college, make sure you actually have a plan as to what it is you really want to do, because that is time and money on the line. Like, college is pretty expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
What I found, I mean, it took me a while to, realize it, but once I started, like, I was doing things that were easy and fun and pleasurable, and I would still be stressed after, but I would feel so much better once I did the things that stressed me out. The relief was much higher of just getting it done than the me doing something else, pleasuring the something that I wanted to do that gave me pleasure. So I
Yeah.
felt better, way better and more satisfaction.
Pleasuring and giving yourself pleasure?
Yes.
I mean, hence why, like, if you're gonna go to college, make sure you actually have a plan, because it is a lot of time and money.
Yeah, the only reason I graduated is I constantly refocused on the emotionally compelling reasons why I was there. And then when I thought about the end goal, then it didn't really make doing the assignments or going to the classes more bearable, I would say. But it gave me a reason to do, to feel the negativity and to fucking do what I know I needed to do anyway. Money trained sports bettors. Any advice on doing cold approaches when out of town? So instead of thinking of it as like cold approaches, what you're really doing is you're practicing your small talk. There's a video, improving your social skills, and also the process of improving your social skills that are referenced in the book. They're like 10, 12 minutes long. I suggest you watch those videos and do it. Whether you're in town or out of town, it doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. And the good news is when you're out of town, you don't know anybody. So you're never ever going to see those people again as long as you live. So it doesn't matter. You got to get the repetitions in. You got to get over your fear of talking to strangers. So that's what you really need to practice. And if you're talking to some girls, well, even better. Talk to people anywhere and everywhere you go.